Good afternoon, students. I am Chitra Silvania, welcoming you all to this online class. In previous class, we started the first chapter, Reproduction in Organisms, in which we have completed some methods of asexual reproduction, such as binary fission, multiple fission, and budding. In today's class, we can able to understand what is fragmentation and regeneration. In fragmentation, the parent body breaks into small fragments and each fragment develops into a new individual. In the tapeworm, the matured proglatids at the posterior end of strobila are regularly cut off either singly or in groups. This process is called apolysis. It helps in transferring the developed embryo from the primary host, that is man, to find the secondary host, that is pig. Next, we see what is regeneration. Regeneration is regrowth in the injured region. It was first studied in Hydra by Abraham Tremblay in the year 1740. There are two types of regeneration: morphollaxis and epimorphosis. In morphollaxis, the whole body grows from small fragment that we can see in Hydra and Planaria. Epimorphosis is the replacement of lost body parts. It is of two types, namely reparative and restorative regeneration. In reparative regeneration, certain damaged tissues can be regenerated, that we can see in starfish. In restorative regeneration, several body parts can develop. For example, the tail of wall lizard. Next, we move on to the sexual reproduction. What is sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction is the fusion of male and female gamete to produce diploid zygote. There are two types of sexual reproduction: syngamy and conjugation. Syngamy is similar to that of fertilization. It is of two types, namely internal fertilization and external fertilization. If the fusion of gametes takes place outside the body of an organism, it is external fertilization. Example, fishes and amphibians. If the fusion of gametes takes place inside the body of an organism, it is called internal fertilization. Example, reptiles, aves, and mammals. Different kinds of skingamy are seen among living organisms. The first one is autogamy. The gametes are produced from same organism. Example, paramecium. Next is exogamy, where the gametes are produced from different organisms. Example, human beings. The fusion of matured individuals is called hologamy, and sexual union of young individuals is called pedogamy. The fusion of small-sized gametes is called merogamy. The fusion of identical gametes is isogamy, whereas dissimilar gametes is anisogamy. The other type of sexual reproduction is conjugation. What is conjugation? It is the temporary union of two individuals of same species. Conjugation is found in exchange of genetic material in bacteria. Next, we move on to the phases of life cycle of an organism. Organisms have three phases: juvenile phase, reproductive phase, and senescent phase. First is the juvenile phase. Juvenile phase is the period of growth between birth up to the reproductive maturity. Second is the reproductive phase. The organisms reproduce in this phase. On basis of time, breeding animals can be classified into two types: seasonal breeders and continuous breeders. Third one is the senescent phase. Senescent phase begins at the end of a reproductive phase. The last topic in this chapter is parthenogenesis. What is parthenogenesis? Development of egg into a complete individual without the act of fertilization is called parthenogenesis. It was discovered by Charles Bonnet in the year 1745. It is of two main types, namely natural and artificial parthenogenesis. If parthenogenesis occurs regularly, constantly, and naturally, it is known as natural parthenogenesis. It may be divided into two: complete and incomplete parthenogenesis. In complete parthenogenesis, the only form of reproduction in certain animals, and there is no biparental sexual reproduction. These are no male organisms, and so such individuals are represented by females only. Incomplete parthenogenesis is found in some animals in which both sexual reproduction and parthenogenesis occurs. For example, in honeybees, fertilized eggs develop into queen and workers, whereas unfertilized eggs develop into drones, that is, males. Next is the pedogenetic parthenogenesis. The larvae produce a new generation of larvae by parthenogenesis. This is also a kind of natural parthenogenesis. Next, we move on to the artificial parthenogenesis. The unfertilized egg is induced to develop into a complete individual by physical or chemical stimuli. Example, annelid and sea urchin eggs. Finally, animals are classified mainly into three groups, namely oviparous, viviparous, and ovoviviparous. The animals which lays eggs is called oviparous. Example, reptiles and birds. The animals which give rise to the young ones is called viviparous. Example, mammals. In ovoviviparous, the embryo develops inside the egg and remains in the mother's body until they are ready to hatch. This method of reproduction is similar to viviparity, but the embryo have no placental connection with the mother and receive the nourishment from the egg yolk. Ovoviviparity is seen in fishes like shark. Dear students, we have completed the first chapter. Revise the lesson and be thorough with the lesson. If you have any doubts, you can ask me personally. I have sent an assignment. Do it and submit. Thank you.